Hello, welcome to episode 24 of the Epic Film Challenge 2, 1001 movies you must see before you die. It's a western, it's Paul Newman, it's Hombre, hey Hombre, 1967. What more could you want? Paul Newman in a western, it's great. He plays a man who is referred to in the film as Hombre. I forget his character's actual name. John Russell seems to stick in my head. Maybe that's from another film, I don't know. But Hombre, as we'll call him, is a man who was raised by Indians and has a strong link to the Apaches, and he has long hair, but his white father has died and left him an inheritance of this boarding house. So he goes back to the life of a white man, he cuts his hair short, and he goes on this stagecoach journey with a host of other characters, one of whom has money that he's transporting that has been stolen from the Indians. So Hombre has a kind of vested interest in this and kind of a strong opposition to what this man is doing. And then you have another guy who's kind of a bandit and kind of is a very sleazy kind of character, great actor who played him. He's kind of the antagonist of the film. There's a young couple, there's the guy who drives a stagecoach, and a lot of the film takes place just them traveling and where they stop off and stuff, and then maybe they get raided along the way and then they're on the run, and Hombre becomes this kind of anti-hero where he's off kind of, just fending for himself, and taking care of himself, but everyone else is following him because he's the strongest person in the group. So they're like, we'll just follow and do whatever he does, but he's like, I'm doing my thing, you do what you want. If you want to follow me, fine. Paul Newman's great in the film, just cool as ever, and by the end of the film there's kind of themes of morality that are introduced and kind of the racist kind of racial undertones, I suppose, of how the Indians were treated in the film, especially a scene at the beginning in a bar where they're very much chastised upon because they're Indian, and Paul Newman kind of saves the day in that moment. But I really enjoyed it. I loved the landscapes. I loved just the characters' interactions with each other. There's an older woman who's with the stagecoach journey, and her chemistry with Paul Newman was great, and she was a real kind of fiery woman and a great character. And yeah, just some really memorable moments in the film, especially the ending was great. I really loved the ending, and just really well done, and some nice tension and stuff. Is it a film you must see before you die? I'm going to say no. I loved it. I thought it was really great, but it didn't really stand out as this, wow, great western or anything. I'd probably call it one of my favourite westerns now, actually. But I'm a big Paul Newman fan, and I just think that overall, nothing about it as a whole really screamed to me that you have to see that film. I'd say, hey, check it out. That's a good western. It's a good Paul Newman film, but it's not a masterpiece. It's not one of the greats. And so for me, it's not a film you should see before you die, but you should probably check it out anyway.